So now that Apex been out for roughly about a week or so, I figured it would be interesting to compare the experience and how the game runs on different platforms. With us today, I got an Xbox One S, an Xbox One X, and finally we got a 300-ish and $50 gaming PC. In this video, we're gonna look at which of these three systems offers the best experience. Let's dig into it. Now, if you're new here, hey, my name is Robin. I test and review gaming and PC hardware, and so if you're interested in that, consider subscribing and don't forget to tap the notification bell so that you don't miss out on future videos. Now, which out of these three systems, guys, do you think would run the game the smoothest, and how much better do you think that the game would look on the Xbox X compared to the much cheaper Xbox S? Post your thoughts in the comments. I've looked at 4 or maybe 5 scenes of the game, and we're going to compare each system with these scenes. So I've been playing the game since it came out about a week ago as I'm posting this video, and so if you're watching this video a bit later than that, there might have been improvements on the graphics that fixes some of the visual differences here we're about to witness. However, I doubt that they're gonna be able to optimize the engine much. Game already looks great, but yeah, anyway, I've cranked up the bitrate to over 40,000 kilobits for each clip here to hopefully give you the absolute highest quality here. Let's start by having a look at the training session of the game side by side between each platform. The training sessions start by you meeting up with Bloodhound by the end of this tunnel here. Something that I've noticed right away was the rocks and the stones on the right side here. See how they changes as I'm moving back and forth. This is part of how the game renders objects in distances. Now, usually this is something you get to set in the video options, also known as viewing distance. Unfortunately, there is no option to set this specific distance rendering in the game as of right now, and so both my PC and the Xbox S is having some issues here where object spawns and changes as I'm getting closer or drifting away. I've tried this on 2 different PCs, by the way. The other one is using a Ryzen 1700 and 60 gigs of RAM, but still had the same popping objects. But yeah, look at the Xbox One X. It's completely gone here. The 4GB of video memory that the GTX 970 carries seems to be the bottleneck here. If we would have had more video memory, this wouldn't have happened, but seeing as the X has 12GB of GDDR5 tells us that having more video memory in 2019 clearly has some benefits. Let's move on. Next scene is also from the training ground. Looking at this text on the supply bin here, the textures on the bin seems to be about the same quality as far as I can tell, but again, I want to know what you guys think here as well. With that said, let's move on to another scene where I focus on Bloodhound for a moment. Notice how much blurrier he is on the Xbox S compared to the Xbox X. It shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone, right? But the difference between the Xbox S and the Xbox X in terms of graphics is quite big here. The PC looks almost on par with the Xbox X, in my opinion, at this 1080p native resolution with texture budget set to high, sun shadow details as well as spot shadow details are however set to low on PC, and shadows does in general look a bit blurrier compared to Xbox One X if you look here very carefully, and this is because my 4GB of video RAM limitation. This is as high as I'm able to go with a GTX 970 to avoid lags and stutter. Still though, the game looks nice. Now, taking a look at this next scene, this is quite interesting. Here I'm using the Kraber and zooms in at one of the wires. All of these systems are running in native 1080p with TAA anti-aliasing on PC, but it becomes obvious that the Xbox S is running in a lower resolution. Focusing on the wire, you can clearly see the jagged lines on the Xbox S, which tells us that the Xbox S is running in a lower resolution without anti-aliasing. On the Xbox One X and the PC, the zipline looks a lot more smooth, as you can see. but if we turn off TAA, it looks a lot worse, and so I highly recommend you guys to leave TAA on for this title at all cost, as these jagged lines can cause some distractions and can be very annoying at times. Last thing that I got for you guys is the dropship at the beginning of every round. You can tell that the Xbox One S is having issues holding a steady frame rate here. Now, I don't have any software to capture the frame rate like Global Foundry does, but you can tell from this video that the game runs slower on the Xbox S. This issue isn't completely gone on the Xbox X either, but it's a lot closer to 60 FPS on PC. Running the game on a GTX 970, you catch this issue here as well with the settings set to medium. That being said, these frame dips in 9 times out of 10 only occurs at the beginning of every round, where you see the whole map like this. Running around on the ground, however, is smooth and stutter free regardless of what system I was playing on, should be said, except for a few instances when there were a lot of things happening at the same time. I was noticing some frame drops on the Xbox S as well. So with this all in mind, guys, what can we say so far? Well, it seems like there is no dynamic resolution for the game as of right now. The game is running in a lower resolution on the Xbox S in general, that's for sure. Lower textures as well. Everything looks a lot blurrier in general. Now, with sun shadow details as well as spot shadow details set to low on PC, the shadows on the Xbox X looks a lot sharper and crisper in general. With a PC with graphics settings set to medium, Xbox One X looks sharper and finer in general. That being said, the Xbox is limited to 60 FPS as far as I'm aware, so that's something you need to have in mind as well. On the PC, however, I reached above 70 FPS many times and even above that. Obviously, if you have a higher end graphics card, you will see a lot higher numbers here than what we did in this video. But yeah, the whole idea of this was to see what the PC, worth about the same as an Xbox X, would actually perform like. So the Xbox One X definitely looks best in my opinion, to no surprise really, but regardless what system you're playing on, the game will look great regardless. Now, I haven't tried this on a PS4 or a PS4 Pro yet. If you have, I would love to know how this run on these systems as well. Now, I'm gonna be back with a brand new video in just a day or two, guys. Until then, have an awesome day, alright? Bye.